Hello there guys, it's Tico here bringing you guys a video of Warframe. It's been a little bit since my last video of Warframe, and from a discussion I was having yesterday with a couple friends, I decided to make another video covering Valkyr. Now Valkyr is like one of my favorite Warframes. I've already done a video in the past for it. You can actually check the link for that in the description, of course. And I really like Valkyr, but you know, Valkyr is just kind of this Warframe, a lot like Rhino, where people kind of believe that you just have to use Warcry with Eternal War, specifically right now, since that's what people are using, Eternal War, along with Warcry to make her work. That, or you just have to rely on Hysteria, you know, for complete damage immunity, and that's the way you should play her. And a while back, about a couple months ago, I took a different approach with her. Actually, maybe it was about 4 months ago. I took a different approach with her. And this approach was relying on Warcry and Paralysis as a more of crowd control ability, and I centered all her powers and mods around a way of reducing her duration on her abilities, but also increasing their range, along with a decent amount of power strength. And I believe you guys can hear my dog right now, probably. Okay, so let's actually go to the setup real quick, and let us see the arsenal. Okay, so in the arsenal, we were going to look at Valkyr first, and let's go take a quick look at everything she has to offer in the mod section. First off, of course, we got Steel Charge, because Steel Charge is awesome. There's no other way to go. She is a melee Warframe, so Steel Charge is like a guarantee. It's a staple. You have to have it. Second off, we got Cunning Drift. Now, Cunning Drift increases your range by 15%, also increases your slide by 12%, and your friction decreased by 30%. So whenever you're sliding, you have less friction whenever, so you can slide 30% further. It's pretty cool. This is pretty much used to increase the power range of our powers, which is Valkyr's one downside. Her abilities don't got a lot of power range. The one that does have the most power range is, I believe, Ripline. So yeah. Next up, we got Transient Fortitude. Transient Fortitude is completely maxed out at rank 16. So we got 55% power strength with minus 27.5 power duration. Next up, we got Prime Continuity, which Prime Continuity counters the maxed out Transient Fortitude. So we get a plus 55% power duration from a maxed out Prime Continuity. Next, we got Natural Talent. If we're going to be spamming Valkyr's abilities, specifically Paralysis and Warcry, we're going to need Natural Talent because they got somewhat of a delay when you first activate them. So Natural Talent is pretty good. It also helps you whenever you decide to cast in those specific moments where you need that immunity and that quick lifesteal. It also helps you cast Hysteria a little bit quicker, so you know you can get out of those situations where you might die. Your health gets pretty low really quickly. Activate Hysteria really quick. Boom. Switch to this, you know, along with Natural Talent, and you can get your health back. Next up, we got Stretch for more range, of course. We got Streamline at rank 4, and Fleeting Expertise also at rank 4. So we get plus 75% efficiency, which is the efficiency cap. This is the highest efficiency you can have in the game, while at the same time lowering at the most the amount of duration we lose. And then last but not least, we got a Vitality and a Steel Fiber maxed out. So let's actually go ahead now and look at the actual stats of what it does to our Valkyr when we have all of these mods equipped at the same time. First off, we got Ripline. The combo window decreases, your damage increases, your power range becomes 120 meters. So she can Ripline the hell out of the map. So that is pretty awesome. Next up, we got Warcry, the main ability. The main ability we will be using with her. Warcry pretty much gets an armor increase of 77.5%. So it's going to increase our base armor, or the armor we have on Valkyr stat-wise, by 77.5%. Our power duration is going to be 11.63. Now, the reason why the build is the way it is because Warcry cannot be recasted. You cannot recast Warcry in the middle of the duration of the ability. So if the ability still has 10 seconds left, you cannot cast another one. So Warcry decreases, in this build, it decreases the speed of the enemies affected by Warcry by 46.5%, so it pretty much cuts the speed of enemies in half, while at the same time increasing our melee speed by 77.5%, almost doubles, and has a power range of 40 meters. So within 40 meters, whenever we activate Warcry every 11.63 seconds, all the enemies are going to be cut down in half. Pretty much their speed is going to be cut down in half, and our armor is also going to be increased. You also got to keep in mind, since the range is 40 meters, that pretty much is going to help out all our teammates within 40 meters. It's going to give them the increased melee attack speed, and it's going to give them the increased armor. So it's all good, you know. I really like how this works. Next up, we got Paralysis, a 5.43 damage multiplier. Knockback strength is 1550, and then we got a power range of 16 meters. Pretty much she unleashes her shields and damages the enemies around her, knocking them down, so I think it's pretty cool. We got the damage from Hysteria is 387.5. Energy per second is 0.81, so we can keep it out for a very long time. Lifesteal, of course, is 5%. Power range is 8 meters. So this Valkyr is pretty much made to be a Valkyr that relies on decreasing the speed of your enemies. This Valkyr is somewhat of a combination in gameplay of, I would say, Nova and something like Speed Volt. You know, you're constantly getting the speed upgrade, but at the same time you're acting like Nova because you're decreasing the speed of all the enemies around you. So every 11.63 seconds, all the enemies around you are going to get their speed cut in half, and at the same time your allies are going to get the armor increase and the boost to their melee speed. And you know, when you think about it, it really does help out Valkyr when you look at it this way, because at the same time you can think about, well, Nova, whenever you prime enemies in Nova, you know, they get increased damage, and plus Nova's prime caps out a 0.75 the enemy speed decrease, whereas here we're pretty much only getting half. So Nova can decrease the speed of the enemies even further than Valkyr can, but Valkyr can tank more. So that's the way we gotta look at it. Nova is very, very, very squishy, while Valkyr is not. So we have a character that can play somewhat as Nova while buffing up your teammates and decreasing the speed of all the enemies surrounding it. And then we can cast it every, like, pretty much roughly 12 seconds. And we can actually have Hysteria to get our health back. You know, we can actually inflict direct damage to the enemies around us. Then with Paralysis, I think it's pretty cool. And we got Prep Line to get around the map very quickly. Just as if a wormhole would do. But you know, we got the tankiness. You know, that's something we got to be grateful for. Valkyr excels at being tanky. Not quite as tanky as maybe Chroma, but very tanky still. So leave me your comments below, guys. Let me know what you think of the build. Like I said, I was discussing it last night with a couple of my friends, Dark Oblivion and King Kashi. You know, talking about like the different warframes that actually, you know, got like some abilities that is literally the only ability people use them for. And you know, Valkyr came up, so that's why I decided to do this video. Valkyr 2.0. You know, it doesn't use any of the augment mods, but it does actually have a lot of usability, you know, in battle. So hopefully you guys decide to give it a try. You know, it's somewhat of a faster gameplay style with this Valkyr. You constantly got to be activating your abilities. So for somebody that enjoys having like a very active character, a very active warframe that gives them a lot to do, this is certainly a build to go with. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Leave me your comments below, and make sure to check out my previous build for Valkyr, focusing around Eternal War. And I will catch you guys later. Adios.